Hi everyone, it's me again. I had promised not to make another recording concerning my political beliefs because I agree with Plato that those of us who are in the entertainment industry should be kept out of politics. We have the skills to manipulate the views of other people just by intonation of voice, so forth. Obviously, people have ignored that injunction. Look at some of our past presidents, but we're not going to go there right now. This video is concerning Prop 8. Now, this video is not for those of you who are going to vote yes or vote no. This is for the ones who are undecided. Prop 8 touches me very closely, and I want to address some of the misinformation that has been purposefully propagated. This is going to be extemporaneous, but hopefully you'll tolerate my stuttering and stumbling and hemming and hawing. The main arguments for voting for Proposition 8 come to 3 points. The first point is freedom of speech for religious organizations. The second, just a moment, I have a cat doing a bad thing. Bad cat. Okay. I don't know enough of these things to be able to stop something like this thing and start it again. I'm rather amateurish when it comes to behind the camera behavior. Now, like I said, freedom of speech for religion, the slippery slope argument, and the what about the children argument. Now, because of length, I'm only going to be able to address part of these things in this one, and I'll have to post another one. I hope you'll be patient. The first major concern for those who are undecided is what will happen to religious organizations that refuse to wed gay people? Well, here's the answer. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now, there's been a whole huge campaign going on about this church in Massachusetts that was sued by a lesbian couple for not allowing them to have a wedding ceremony. Well, it wasn't the chapel that the lesbian couple had wanted to use. It was a pavilion that was on public property that the Methodist Church was allowed to lease out for profit. Now, they had put this up as a public place where anyone could get married. All they had to do was pay the fee. Well, this couple comes in with the fee ready and everything, and the church says, oh, no, you can't use our facility. Well, you can't have a facility on public property and then not allow people who you don't like to not use it. Sorry, just not legal to do that, okay? If your church doesn't want gay people getting married on your property, don't make a financial decision to invest in a wedding hall separate from your church that you open to the public, but only if they meet your criteria. Don't do it, you won't have a problem. As to preachers not being able to preach against gays because we are immoral in their opinion, well, I'm going to give you an example. In Idaho, there is a white supremacist church that preaches race war, hatred of blacks, Jews, Catholics, and homosexuals. Their freedom of religion is guaranteed. They are allowed to say whatever they want in their church, short of political endorsement of a single candidate. You do that, you lose your tax-exempt status. Anything else is fair game. If they're allowed to preach hatred of the races, what makes you think that gay people are going to be able to go in and say, you condemn us, we're taking your property? It's not going to happen. It's a straw man argument set up to say, see, this is what'll happen. It's distraction. This'll happen. Oh no, you've got to vote yes, or they'll take away our preacher's right to condemn them. No, not going to happen. Freedom of speech is in the United States Constitution, the First Amendment. Okay? We would have to go through a whole amendment process in order to eliminate that right. It's a lot harder to amend the Constitution of the United States than the Constitution of the state of California, where a majority rules. Now, another issue of the freedom of speech is the will of the people of California was decided in 2000 with Proposition 22. Proposition 22's backers garnered 61% of the votes, saying that marriage will be recognized, the only valid and recognized marriage will be between a man and a woman for the state of California. Now, the Supreme Court, I love how Proposition 8's backers refer to San Francisco judges. What's that code for? Those damn hippie, queer, liberal judges in San Francisco. America, Sodom, and Gomorrah rolled into one. That's what that phrase is meant to evoke. Well, these were 4 members of the California Supreme Court. These were appointees by Ronald Reagan and Pete Wilson, who were Republicans. These were not liberals who voted to allow gays to marry. They affirmed that the California Constitution's equal rights. I'm trying to think of the phrase I want here. Anyway, they asserted that marriage was a fundamental right for all Californians, and that just because a majority at one point said, no, we won't allow it, doesn't mean it's right. Part of the judicial's job is to protect minorities from the tyranny of the majority. Ever hear that phrase? It's very important and will apply. Now, I brought up a matter earlier about how you cannot have a piece of property on public land and then discriminate against individuals. Well, that's only in places other than Utah. One of the oddest things, once I left Salt Lake, and I'm from there, I left there to get away from the dominant culture. One of the oddest things is the LDS Church bought a section of Main Street that divided their temple from their office building. This was a very important artery from from the northern parts to the southern parts that were on the hill and so forth, into the main business district of Salt Lake City. Well, they guaranteed that they would not infringe on anyone's free speech rights with that property. Sell us this property. Sell us this major artery of your city for a very, very low-ball sum, $6 million. I can't imagine any piece of property of comparable size in any city in the heart of its downtown selling for such a small amount. And we will guarantee everyone's free speech rights. Guess what? They didn't. They said, you can't wear shorts, you can't play frisbee, you can't smoke, and you can't kiss on our property. This is our property. We get to say what happens. Well, free speech went out the door, and the government of Salt Lake City agreed to it. Isn't it interesting how free speech rights extend only to certain parts of a population, not to all of it? Now this is my first part. If you want part 2, that's coming shortly. Take care.